Every Thursday, we open the files, not on the killers, not on the victims, but on the ones who told it all. The scared, the slick, the straight up sloppy. From cold cases to courtroom confessions, if they snitched, we're spilling it. This is the Snitch Files, a weekly dive into true crime's biggest talkers, one name, one story, every Thursday. And if you know a snitch that deserves a moment, send them in. Any case, anytime. If they flipped, we're listening. Because loose lips make great content. Welcome to the Snitch Files, only on Melanin Mysteries.
All right, y'all. This is Snitch Files, and of course, I'm your host, Willie. And this week, we talk about Cornelius Smith Jr., the man who shot my boy, the Memphis legend himself, Young Dolph, then turned around and snitched on the mastermind behind the hit. That's right. From pulling the trigger to flipping the script. Let's go ahead and break this down, right? So first, we got to talk about my boy, Young Dolph, right? Young Dolph was born Adolph Thornton Jr. He was a Memphis raised independent rat king and founder of Paper Route Empire. He turned down $22 million from a major label to stay independent because he said he wanted to stay true to his city. He was loved and respected in Memphis. Dolph was known for giving back to the community. That nigga was handing out turkeys like Nino Brown on New Jack City, mentoring youth and repping Memphis with pride. So look, check this out. On November 17th, 2021, Dolph walked into Makita's homemade butter cookies. And I ain't gonna lie, man, they say them cookies was banging too, man. I ain't worth dying over, but they said it was good. His favorite spot in Memphis. That day, he did not bring bodyguards, no security, nothing. Two shooters rolled up and opened fire. 22 shots to be exact, man. And they say that bad boy ripped through the spot and through Dolph, unfortunately. The streets turned into a crime scene. Memphis was shaken, and Paper Route Empire crumbled in grief because he was really the only one making money in the clique. Let's be honest, right? So prosecutors say the mastermind behind the hit was Anthony Bit Juke Mims, which was Yo Gotti's brother. And they said it was over some rap beef, man. Some freaking rap beef, man. Some diss tracks and pride, man. You would think after the Tupac and Biggie incident that folks would just not take the beef so serious. But unfortunately, niggas don't like being vegan. And they said it was $100,000 bounty placed on them. The trigger man, Cornelius Smith Jr. and Justice Johnson. Both men were caught in the plot. Justice Johnson was convicted in 2024, life in prison without parole, first-degree murder, conspiracy, and firearms charges. Cornelius Smith Jr. admitted to being one of the shooters, but flipped, testifying against Johnson and now against Hernandez Govin, who is accused of orchestrating the ambush and pointing the shooter toward Dolph on his charity turkey run, man. That's why, man, unfortunately, you can't go back to the community sometimes, man. I'm going to be like Unc off of Friday After Next, man. I'm going to get my money and I'm gone. Anyway, Smith testified that Govin told him where Dolph would be and that Big Juke put out the hit. Smith and Johnson were each promised $10,000 for the job. He even admitted that after the shooting, Big Juke's side allegedly provided $50,000 to his attorney. Smith reasoning, he claimed he was grieving, desperate, and saw no way out, but ultimately he snitched to save himself. On a side note, they say that Big Juke didn't get these niggas nothing, man. I think he gave him like $500 and stopped answering calls, man. Horrible. So, in Govin's ongoing trial, Smith has become the state's star witness. His testimony provides the roadmap for prosecutors. While Govin's lawyers work to share his credibility, pointing out financial incentives, inconsistencies, and shifting stories, Johnson sits behind bars, but Smith still faces his own sentencing, hoping his cooperation buys him a deal. As of the latest updates, Justin Johnson, and I call him Justice, that is hilarious, is serving life. Hernandez Govin awaits trial, facing first-degree murder, and Cornelius Smith Jr. remains in limbo. His fate is tied to how useful his testimony proves, so you know this nigga gonna be telling everything. His cooperation could reduce his sentence, but his name is forever etched in Memphis history as the man who killed Young Dolph, pulled the trigger, killed a legend, and he flipped to become state's key witness. So, Cuzzos, That's the definition of a snitch right there. One minute you pulling the trigger, the next you're pulling up to court as the state's main storyteller. Cornelius Smith Jr., you are a rat. Why? Because you went from shooter to star witness, trigger to testimony. And once you cross that line, the streets ain't ever taking you back. So there you go, y'all. That's the snitch files, cuzzos. Trigger to testimony. Cornelius Smith, a man who flipped reality from pulling the trigger to go ahead and snitching on the next nigga. Stay locked, stay streetwise, and keep asking. When snitches talk, who listens and why? Now, look, find us on social media at Melanin Mysteries Podcast across TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Please drop a comment, leave a review, and catch us on Monday for a brand new case. We out.